Buy votes, but can you buy delegates? Political law and ethics expert Kenneth Gross joins us to talk about it. Good morning, Kenneth.
Good morning. How are you?
So simple. The way it works is you vote, and then the delegates are given out proportionally to the votes, however the state party deems it necessary. Then when it comes to the convention, what are the rules in terms of how you can persuade a delegate to vote for a certain candidate?
Well, it's not all that clear. I think we can divide the delegates into two categories for purposes of trying to figure this out. And one is some of them are already public officials. You know, they're congressmen, they're state officials, and they're likely to be regulated under various ethics laws, federal and state, as public officials. But most of them, a whole slew of them, are private citizens that were selected to become delegates from Mississippi to Ohio to wherever, and they don't have the same ethics and legal rules surrounding them as a public official. And they're not really candidates under the law. So the rules that apply to candidates don't directly apply to them either.
So let's first start with the superdelegates in the Democratic Party, because that sounds a lot more official if you're a superdelegate. Would it be legal if Hillary said, I want you to be a superdelegate, I will give you a post in the cabinet, I will give you this plum ambassadorship, I will give you cash if you vote for me? Are all of those things legal?
Well, a lot of the superdelegates are public officials, so if they're a public official, forget it.
Okay.
If they are a private citizen, I'm taking cash off the table. I don't want to see any brown paper bags floating around the convention. I think that would be actionable under perhaps even a state bribery statute. But, horse trading on possible positions, consideration for plum assignments or positions without maybe an explicit quid pro quo, you can be sure that kind of thing is going on or will go on at some level.
And so with each contested delegate in the Republican side, with a billionaire going up against the other two in this wacky political season, all bets are off on what happens, I guess.
I would say all bets are off within limitations because, let's face it, again, you can't be bribing people, but the stakes are as high as they can possibly be. The laws are not clear. You also have prosecutors who themselves are political and may be looking to make trouble, so you don't want to be poking anybody in the eye. At the same time, there'll be a lot of horse trading going on there, and it will be intense, particularly at the Republican convention, because it doesn't look like it's going to be settled. And I think it will get more aggressive as the convention progresses, because after the first vote, the second vote, the third vote, if it comes to that, more and more delegates are freed up, and the horse trading will get that much more intense.
What's interesting is that this is the year of the anti-establishment, and yet the anti-establishments are going to do everything they can to get the establishment to vote for them, right? So it's almost like you have to bow down to the establishment to be the anti-establishment candidate.
That's right, because one thing matters: WIN, winning. That's all that matters. All this other talk goes out the window when you have a chance of winning.
Rod Blagojevich, former governor of Illinois, is sitting in jail today because didn't he basically do the same thing?
He, there was a Senate seat up as a result of President Obama getting elected, and there was discussion about getting something in return because it was up to the governor to fill that seat, and he wasn't just going to give it away.
Right.
And there were tape-recorded conversations about him looking for money, contributions, and other things, and he's serving a 14-year sentence. That's what you call going over the top. Now, of course, that was for a specific official act of a sitting governor. That's regulated conduct. The reason this is so interesting and the reason it's not clear is because we're talking about delegates. And the offerors, the ones who are putting these things on the table, are not necessarily candidates. It's not Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, or Kasich. It could be outsiders. It could be these people running super PACs or party, not necessarily acting as agents of the candidate, where Blagojevich was sort of doing it in his own name as a sitting governor.
Right.
So those are big legal differences.
Yeah, and I guess Donald Trump isn't a elected official for anything. So he's under different rules than say, a Ted Cruz, who's a sitting senator.
He would be but as a candidate,
okay.
He would, I think, be subject to a strict rule. But if you're just running some super PAC supporting Ted Cruz or Donald Trump, then you are in a different position.
Yeah, Kenneth Gross, what a strange world we live in, where you're an ethics expert when it comes to politicians. I didn't think they had ethics in politics.
Yeah, I think ethics in politics, I guess that's an oxymoron.
Yeah,
I try to keep it clean.
It was a short course. Kenneth Gross, political law and ethics expert. Kenneth, thanks for joining us here.
My pleasure.
You got it. Interesting, right? Something to think about, something to put in the back of your head and think about as we go forward in this debacle. 314-969-KTR.